The oldest game in the world dates back to 3500 BCE. I wasn't around back then. And it means we've been playing games for more than 5,500 years. Let's take a look at the game venues we use for them, from the smallest to the biggest. Starting with checkers, the smallest yet the most ancient of modern games. The board is just 16 by 16 inches, with each square being 2 inches across. The first mention of checkers, or draughts as it's otherwise called, dates back to 3000 BCE. A chessboard is of a similar size, but the game itself is much younger. It was first played in the 14th century. Next comes darts, a huge leap forward in time, but not in size. The standard board is 17 inches in diameter. The game we know now was invented by Brian Gamlin, an English carpenter, in 1896, and has since not changed too much. Back in time to backgammon, another pretty old board game, also dating back about 5,000 years. There's no fixed board size, but some of the biggest ones are 25 by 21 inches. The board is most commonly made of wood, but it can also be leather, cork, felt, or just about any material good enough for sliding checkers on it. Now, your normal ping pong table measures at 107 inches long and 60 inches wide. Professional players don't call the game ping pong though, it's table tennis for them. And while the table is the same, the game rules and stakes are very different. Different, just like pool and snooker billiards. The largest pool table is a 9-footer. Its dimensions are 9 by 4.5 feet, but it could also be 8 or 7 feet in length. The main rule here is that it's always twice as long as it is wide. As for a snooker table, it's about 12 by 6 feet. This is an approximate measure though, because the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association gives strict dimensions that can only digress by half an inch. Next is a boxing ring. The whole platform is a square with a side of 307 inches, but the ring itself is smaller, just 240 inches. Nowhere to hide or run here, bud. By the way, there are 2 white corners and then a red and blue corner, where the fighters prepare for the match and recover. Squash is kinda like tennis, but played with a wall as part of the game. The court is 30 feet long and 20 feet wide, and you can play this game both with a partner and alone. Slightly larger, with more breathing space, is a karate arena. The fighting square is 26 by 26 feet, but the overall area is 32 feet squared, which accommodates the referee and the added safety zone. No ropes for this one though, only a flat surface and nothing more. A badminton court is longer but narrower than a karate arena. Its length is almost 43 feet, while it's only 20 feet wide. Surely you didn't know this sport had fixed dimensions. Well, I didn't. Even longer and even narrower still is a bowling lane. 60 feet long, 42 inches wide, the 10-pin bowling is a globally acknowledged sport. Ever made a strike or a split in your spare evening? Share in the comments. Now, who doesn't love beach volleyball? With a court of 52 by 26 feet, this summer sport is played in teams of 2, and you can play it wherever there's some sand and a net to throw the ball over. Indoor volleyball court is a more crowded place. It's normally 60 by 30 feet, and the teams are 3 times as large too, with 6 players on each side. Surprisingly, a tennis court is larger though. With 78 feet in length and 26 feet in width, it could easily accommodate even more people than a volleyball court, but only 2 play here. And if there are 4, the width is even larger at 36 feet. So much running around. Heading on to the big guys now. A basketball court is 95 by 50 feet, which you can't cross without dribbling the ball. Originally, you didn't have to dribble, but you could only move the ball by passing it. Dribbling was invented as a way to pass to yourself. Splash! We're in a water polo pool, and I chose the biggest one available. It's 100 feet long and 65 feet wide, so there's a lot of space to swim even for 2 teams of 7 members. According to the rules, you can't push the opponents down with your hands, but there's nothing in the rules about pulling them underwater with your feet. A quick riddle. What's water polo without water? It's handball. But the court is a bit larger here, 130 feet long and 65 feet wide. Despite its name, legs are just as important in handball as hands. Apart from running like crazy, players kick the ball too. All this running around makes me sweat, so back to the water. An Olympic-sized pool is 165 by 80 feet. In training arenas, the length can be cut in two, and training becomes even more intense because of the more frequent turning maneuvers. Unfortunately, if you want to play ice hockey, you just can't freeze an Olympic pool. It's too small. A standard ice hockey rink is about 200 feet long and 100 feet wide. It also has rounded corners for better handling of the puck. Let's bring back summer with a baseball field. It's really big already, measuring at 300 by 300 feet. It's not a square though, as you might know. It has an infield or a diamond, and the outfield, which fans out from the diamond in a crescent. Soccer field dimensions can vary, but a Major League one is typically 350 feet in length and 150 feet in width. I guess kicking the ball while running all the time is hard enough without making the field too big. The rugged rugby players, though, have to cross a considerable distance. Their field is 390 feet long and 230 feet wide. It's just 30 feet shy of being as long as the Great Pyramid of Giza is tall. But we're still going for bigger stuff. While a cricket pitch might be much smaller, the overall field is pretty huge. It's slightly egg-shaped, with the widest part being 490 feet and the narrowest 450 feet. It may look a bit like baseball, but the rules and the scale are something else entirely. Now, if you thought a rugby field was big enough, consider the Australian football. The standard field there is oval-shaped, 540 feet in length and 440 feet in width. That's a long way to run, I'd say, and it's the longest humans would go in an enclosed space on their own 2 feet. That's why we switched to four legs. A race course is typically about 3,000 feet long and 1,150 feet wide. The oldest and most revered horse race is called the Derby and is annually held in England. Replace the legs with wheels, and you'll get a racetrack. The longest loop track in the world is called Talladega Superspeedway. It's over 5,700 feet long and 3,100 feet wide, and the length of the track itself is 2.66 miles. And finally, the largest field made for sports and recreation is… no, it's not some other racetrack. It's a golf course, of course. Though the largest golf facility, which has even made it in the Guinness World Records, is China's Mission Hills Shenzhen Golf Resort. It has 18 courses, and none of them alone is the largest in the world. The title of the longest course on the planet belongs to the Australian Nullarbor Links, which stretches across the whopping 850 miles, taking in parts of both Western and Southern Australia. Players must get lost in there from time to time. Wow, all of the fields and boards we've covered with you today. Kinda makes you want to go play something, doesn't it? Hey, what's your favorite game? Tell me about it in the comments. So if you learned something new today, then give the video a like and share it with a friend. And here are some other videos I think you'll enjoy. Just click to the left or right, and remember, stay on the bright side of life.